How do I find a balance between my personal goals and dreams in life with family's expectations from me? How can one fulfill both without compromising on any of it? How can I find a balance between my personal goals and dreams in life with family's expectations from me? How can I fulfill both because without compromising on either? Anurag, there is a slave. And there are two men who are fighting over the rights to own that slave. And the slave is greatly interested in the fight. The slave wants to know who will win. The slave sometimes even wants to support one party over the other. There are these two men who are quarreling, who are fighting. It's like a tug of war. Who will own the slave? And the slave thinks that he is asking a very meaningful question. Who should be my master? To whom should I be enslaved? What would you advise that slave? You have asked, how do I find a balance between my personal goals and dreams with family's expectations from me? I'm asking you, two masters are trying to enslave you. What must you do? Choose one over the other, or rather see that whichever way I go, it's a life of slavery. So if I have any wisdom, then I must not choose any of these masters. There is a man who is pulling your right arm and there is another man who is pulling your left arm. How does it matter whether you go left or right? How does it matter? Whichever way you go, you remain a slave. What do you think? Your personal goals and desires are any bit less of slavery than meeting somebody else's expectations? What do you mean by personal goals and personal desires? What do you mean by that?
I mean like
what I want to do.
In my life.
And whatever you want to do, where has it come from? Where has it come from? When you say, I want to choose between my dreams and my family's expectations, tell me, where have your dreams come from? Did you have these dreams when you were born physically? Did you have these dreams? Did you have these dreams when you were 5 years old? You had other dreams then. Are you sure you will have these dreams when you are 50 years old? You don't know. So what is the nature of these dreams? They keep changing, right? And obviously you are getting them from somewhere because they are not yours. Then what do you mean by calling them my dreams? Are they your dreams? Are they your dreams? You can see that your family is an external entity. But what you fail to see is that your dreams are equally external. that you fail to see. You have identified so much with the body that you must call the influences upon the physical self as yours. Otherwise, you find it difficult to survive. Otherwise, you find it difficult to hold a sense of I, my dreams. And rest assured, when you are saying that I want to choose between my dreams and family's expectations, a lot of your dreams are actually coming from the family. So what are you avoiding? Given a different family, your dreams would have been different. So what do you mean by choosing between my dreams and family's expectations? In fact, you will find it easier to get rid of the family's expectations, because when you say family, you mean other physical entities, father, mother, brother, sister. And because the mind deals in the gross, in the physical, so it finds it easier to see other physical bodies as separate, as others. But when it imbibes something as its own, then the slavery is deeper. If I say that you must follow communism, then you will say this is slavery. But if I indoctrinate you in communism, then you will say this is my ideology and it is my dream that the entire world should turn red. This is a deeper slavery and more difficult to get rid of. Can there be life beyond your dreams or others' dreams? Can there be a way of living which does not include expecting from the self or living to meet others' expectations? Can there be a life of that kind? We lead only two kinds of life. Either we are fulfilling our own expectations from ourselves, which we call as our dreams, or we live to meet others' expectations. There is no third way that we know. Can there be a third way? Can there be a life in which you do not expect anything from yourself? Do you know what it means to expect something from yourself? What does it mean? It means that I am a slave of the past. Because you cannot expect anything which is not already there in your mind in some way, filled into it by the events of the past, by time. I am a slave of time. I am a slave of the clock. Can there be a way of living where you are not dependent on others and you are not dependent on your own history either? What are you left with? What are you left with? Nothing that you really know of. But you are left with that which is enabling you to understand right now what I am saying. What is it that is enabling you to understand right now what is being said? You are left with that because that is not a product of time. That is not some dream stuff. And that has not been borrowed from anybody. You very much have that. Is it possible to somehow live free of one's own image? I am this. Because only when you are an image, you expect something from that image. Is it possible to live free of that image? Given that I am this, I must attain that in future. Is it possible? Anurag, every single image that we have of ourselves is an ugly image. No. You try to create the most beautiful image that you can. But mark these words, even the most beautiful image that you create of yourself is the ugliest image that you can ever make. All our self images are extremely ugly images. And the proof of that is we continuously want to improve them. That is the proof that they are extremely ugly. Have you ever seen a man who is content with his image? A man who is content with his image will have no future. Have you ever seen a man content with his image? No. There always exists a future. There always exists something left to achieve. And hence the image is in continuous need of improvement. Refurbish the image. Ugly images we have. Whatever you can think of yourself, hence whatever you can imagine about yourself, is not even a pale shadow of that which you really are, and hence all your images are so inadequate. Why make an image of yourself? Others are unable to see what you are, and hence others expect you to achieve something. That is partly understandable, because by definition they are others, right? So if they do not know you well, it is kind of possible. But why do you hold expectations from yourself? Why? Why do you insist on calling yourself ugly and incomplete? Why? Why? Nobody ever dreams to become any worse, right? What do you always dream? To become better. And to become better implies that right now you think of yourself as bad. That is a self-image. That's how well you know yourself. I'm little, timid, shy, small. That's where you stand. And that's why you give your dreams so much importance. And that's why this entire world is running on dreams and hopes. Because its own estimation of itself is so little and so crude. Have we given ourselves a chance to feel our own immensity? Or have we just blindly accepted that no, it is beyond me? Let's honestly face this question. Have you any idea of how strong, vast, and beautiful you probably may be? Don't you want to give yourself even a chance? Why are you so settled in your notions? Why are you so deeply convinced of your frailty? Why have you drawn a border around yourself? Just try. There is magic beyond those borders. There is magic beyond all borders. real life is beyond the limits that you have set upon yourself. Within those limits, there is only rubbish, and that rubbish, unfortunately, you call as life. Real life is beyond the limits that you have imposed upon yourself. Can you see the various ways in which you limit yourself? And we have no doubt. We are so convinced that I am not anything beyond this. No, I am not capable of any more love. No, my heart is only this vast. I cannot give any more. No, if such an event happens, I won't survive it. Is that really so? Test. You are stronger than you believe. What will happen if I lose that support? I'll fall down. You won't. But again, we have come to the question of faith. Without faith, how will you ever leave yourself supportless? You can trust only the crutches you have given yourself. So you cannot get rid of those crutches because they are crude, visible, gross, and of your own making. So it's easy to believe in them, right? But you have no faith. You do not trust that you won't fall down without those crutches. You will run and you will fly. Yes, that running and that flying will not be the same as your imagination of running and flying. Running and flying is not about having hopes of running and flying in a particular way. God is not your imagination of God. Truth is not your image of it. So we are afraid. We are afraid. Oh, something unknown is staring at us. There is just a promise and nothing to validate that promise. How can I act upon that promise? One bird in hand is better than two in the bush. I don't know what great immensity awaits me, but right now, at least I have my 200 rupees. I don't know what great love awaits me, but right now at least I have my half-witted imbecile wife. One bird in hand. Difficult to give up. And there is no formula to generate faith. There is no process that can bring you to faith. One can only invite. At best, one can exhort. But one cannot demonstrate. Because it requires eyes to see faith. Demonstration is external. Hearing all this, I know that is the one question that is staring at you. All right, I give up my dreams. Then what?
It is beyond.
Now, then what? Now, this then what is still into the future. It's not about dreams. It's not about nightmares either. It's about being so much in love with it that the thought of the future simply does not arise. When you are into it, then the future simply disappears. That's what we are talking about. Have you been dreaming all this while as we have been speaking? Was the future there? In attention, there is no future. So we are not asking you to get rid of the future. We are inviting you to attention. In attention, future is anyway not there.